excited about today's topic. You mentioned a moment ago lifestyle as it relates to the luxury home market. And so you and I have talked before about how important the experience is. And that's what we're talking about today is how that purchase decision that buyers make in the luxury home market has oftentimes as much to do with the experience as it has to do with the house itself. And I think about that in terms of not just home purchases, but lots of things that we do. You think about fine dining. When we decide on a really nice restaurant for a special occasion, we don't make the decision on going to that restaurant simply by the menu. Obviously, the menu is important, but oftentimes we think about the overall experience. It might be about, what's the sound level like? Is it good for conversation? What's the view from the restaurant? Is it sitting at the top of a high-rise building? Is it overlooking a gorgeous canal, waterfront? What's the overall atmosphere and the vibe? And so the experience becomes as important in the selection process of the restaurant as the actual meal itself. And so I equate that in a lot of ways to the way that a lot of times our clients are making purchase decisions on luxury homes, not just on the house and the nuts and bolts of square footage and the rooms it has and we've talked before, about interior design and about the features of the home, but it has to do with the experience of the home as it relates to the neighborhood and the community that surrounds the property. I think it's a really exciting topic.
I agree. It's about not only the journey, but how you end up. And you had mentioned also thinking about when you're choosing a vacation spot, that
Right.
it's not just about the where, it's about the why, right? Like what's that going to feel like when you get there, right? And you also mentioned how we get there, right? Talk about
Yeah.
that just a little bit.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Again, we think about planning vacations, and it's not just the destination, but it can be also the experience of, hey, do we travel first class? Maybe we do that on vacation, but we don't do that in everyday business travel. Do we travel by train? One of my favorite, if not my favorite vacation ever, was the Rocky Mountaineer to the Canadian Rockies. So it wasn't about where we were going. That was part of it, but it was riding on the Rocky Mountaineer with a glass top train and having a chef on the car and the whole experience of getting there. So, or taking a cruise as opposed to flying to an island, taking a cruise. So again, it's about creating these experiences. So yeah, I think there's a lot of ways that those types of things relate to our home purchasing as well, the luxury home market.
I think you're right. It's a great analogy because often in the luxury space, whether it's a primary residence or whether it's a secondary residence, the lifestyle or the experience that a property offers is what's going to draw the buyer. It's what's going to sell the property. And so I want to talk today about some examples of that and how we can use a niche approach to market our luxury listings to the right audience. And so when we started talking about this topic, you mentioned that your brokerage's website actually has search features based on lifestyle rather than just the ordinary home parameters, right? So I had to go check it out and I thought it was fascinating. So tell us about that, right? And to set the stage, most brokerage websites, you can search for properties and it's the whole MLS and you enter the beds and the baths and all of that. But what do people find when they land on your brokerage's website?
Yeah, it's very interesting. Our marketing department has done a fabulous job by taking all the information that you would see typically in the MLS, but putting in a platform that's based on experiences. So, for example, instead of looking at homes based on lot size and acreage, or in a zip code or neighborhood, you would see things like city views, college life, celebrity spotting, which that one cracks me up, but it's
Of
funny.
course, of
It's
course.
yeah, but we're in Nashville and like LA or New York or some other places, there's a lot of celebrities in this town, and so people say, "Hey, where do the country music singers live?" You'd be surprised. There are people who start their home search wanting to know because they figure if that's where they are, this must be a nice area to be in. So there's, foodies, that's a category, talking about where all the cool restaurants are, and urban living and eclectic feel. There's all these different categories on the website that allows the consumer, our clients, to search not just by those, again, nuts and bolts features of a home, but looking for homes that fill a need that they have. For example, we talked about urban living. So when they select that category, all the neighborhoods that fit in that category of urban living pop up, whether it be high rise or mid rise condos or downtown historic communities, things of that nature. So it puts those communities together based on those various topics, which is a fun way to search, particularly when you're not familiar with a town and you're trying to get the lay of the land. It's a really interesting way to approach it, I think.